Hello Dram fans, thanks for joining me. Today I've decided to share something with you. It's a little bit of a secret that I've kept for a while. It's something I've been doing that's helped me to maximise the enjoyment that I get out of whiskey and also maximise the value for money that I get out of my bottles. This is something that I've been doing for quite a long time, and today I've decided to share it with you. So the first step of this process is that you really need to use either a Glencairn or a stemmed glass. So I'm actually going to demonstrate what I do here. And I've got this bottle of whiskey. So let's get some in the glass and I'll show you how it's done. Kind of reluctant to tell people about this because it's kind of like an insider secret that I've had for quite a while. And I feel like now it's going to be out there and it's not just my special little trick. So whiskey in the glass, you want to fill it to about that level, and to start with it's quite cold, this bottle is anyway, so you want to get some warmth in there. It can help to put a lid on there, of course, that way you're maximising the aromas that you trap in there, you get all those volatile compounds moving in the air. But once you have it sort of starting to get up to temperature, you want to take your lid off and you want to cup your hand around the glass. And what that does, obviously the Glencairn is good. It is designed to evaporate all of those aromas and get them into the air. But by putting your hand there, it works like a tall whiskey still. So all of those aromas, you're only getting the most volatile and the lightest compounds, getting that extra height to actually reach your nose. And it's actually a form of distillation that the heavier compounds are going to fall back down into the whiskey. And that immediately makes the whiskey much fruitier on the nose. And even with this quite affordable Jameson's, it makes it seem like a much more expensive premium whiskey. You could swear that that's like a bottle of like Yellow Spot or something costing 3 or 4 times the price. It makes such a massive difference. So the next step that I do, and this is obviously something that I don't do on the videos because it seems a bit odd, but it really is the key to enjoying and maximising your enjoyment from whiskey. And it's along the lines of something you may have seen before. You want to put your hand over the top of the glass and give it a little shake, get a little bit of whiskey on your hand. You know where I'm going with this, you've probably seen similar things before. To wet your hand, and then you can just trap those aromas in there and you can smell the whiskey off your hand. But what you need to do to really get that to work properly, you want to really shake it, really get it going, and then quickly get the lid on there, quickly rub your hands and cup it over your nose. And again, that really maximises the flavours that you get on the nose. But what a lot of people don't understand is that getting that evaporation going by spreading the whiskey over the large surface area of your hands, it doesn't just increase the volatile components coming off on the aroma, but it actually does the same for the palate as well. So you need to lick the whiskey off your hand. And while you're doing that, you're obviously not tasting the whiskey yet. We haven't consumed any whiskey yet, but you need to pre-visualize the flavors of the whiskey in your mind before you actually get to your first sip. And if you do that enough, you will actually be able to pre-align your mental flavor map with the aromas that you're getting in your whiskey. And you can even fine-tune the flavor profile of their whiskey by changing your mental flavor map to actually improve the experience of the whiskey when you taste it. And if you get really good at this, you can actually get to the point where you can pre-visualize the flavors and the experience of the whiskey to the point where you actually don't need to drink it at all. If you get really good at this, you can get to the point where you can nose that whiskey and use the hand funnel technique and lick it off your hand by shaking it, and then you don't even need to drink the whiskey. I know what you're saying, it sounds crazy, but I've actually been doing this with this bottle of Jameson's since 2006, and it's effectively allowed me to turn this £30 bottle of Jameson into a bottle of Yellow Spot, at no extra cost. It sounds crazy, but if you get really good at this with some practice, you can actually start to get the intoxication effect from the whiskey as well, just by fine-tuning your mental map without actually consuming any whiskey at all, effectively allowing you to have one bottle of whiskey and make it last infinitely. So that's it, the secret is out now. Let me give these techniques a try with an open mind and let me know how you get on. That's about all I have to tell you, apart from have a great April the 1st, and cheers.